Time to say goodbye to the Shotgun 650. It's fast lane. Hey guys, welcome to Fast Lane. On today's episode, yes, you heard me right. My time with the Shotgun 650 is coming to an end. You know, somebody once said that parting is such sweet sorrow. I think it was Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet or something like that.
Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say goodnight till it be morrow.
I gotta tell you, man, it doesn't feel like sweet sorrow to me. It just feels like sorrow, because this baby's going away and it's not coming back tomorrow. I don't want to see this thing go. But alas, like they say, all good things must come to an end, and it is pretty much that time. Royal Enfield owned me this bike for the last couple months, and I have had the time of my life reviewing this bike, riding it. Basically what we're gonna do here today is just kind of a goodbye. I'll give you an overall summary of what I think of the bike. And in the end, I'm gonna tell you whether or not I think I would buy this bike and whether or not it's the bike for you. So stick around for that, okay? So unfortunately, like a lot of fairy tales, there's not necessarily a happy ending to this one because the bike's gonna go bye-bye. And why would I be happy about that? It has been a heck of a lot of fun though. So like I said, Royal Enfield has loaned me this bike for the last few months, and I have absolutely put this bike through the paces. I've ridden it as a daily commuter almost every day for the past couple months. I took it on a 5-hour trip all the way up to Seattle from Oregon at some pretty high rates of speed, if you know what I'm saying. Took it over to bike night at Cycle Gear to get people's reactions. A lot of people really loved it, and a lot of them have never even heard of Royal Enfield. And of course, you know, if you've been watching, I did the 0 to 60 against the Hunter 350, which was just a super fun time. I'm gonna give you an absolute honest opinion of what I think of this machine, because I want you to make the right choice, and so does Royal Enfield. You know, they really care about their customers. That's why they ask guys like me to get on the thing and get my butt in the seat and ride it for a while. I think that freaking rocks. I gotta take a minute, and I absolutely have to thank Chad and the folks at Royal Enfield North America for trusting me with this bike. They gave me full range of what kind of content I wanted to do, no strings attached. Quick disclaimer, I am not being paid, and I have not been paid for having this bike or doing anything I've done with it. So you're gonna get an absolute real world review with an average Joe on this machine. I could have told you this thing was a complete piece of and Royal Enfield wouldn't have told me not to. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present it to you, the Shotgun 650.
Still got a hold on to you. Even without you here.
So the Shotgun 650 is a 650cc motorcycle. It's got 47 horsepower, oil-cooled engine. The bike's pretty awesome. It comes with a lot for the price tag, which we'll get into in a minute. So here's some of the things you're gonna get with this bike. You're gonna get anti-lock brakes by Brembo all around. They work flawlessly. They say Vibre on them, but that's just because they're kind of the Indian version of Brembo. Showa upside down front forks. Showa rear suspension, 6-speed gearbox, tracker handlebars, the Tripper navigation system, which I really wasn't into because if you guys know me, I don't really like a lot of tech. I just used my phone for GPS. All metal construction. That's metal, baby. Yeah! It's got a great rake to the front wheel, so the handling on this bike is absolutely stellar. It's a very, very fun bike to ride. It's easy to push out of the garage. It's easy to get on in the morning. Like I said, I've taken this bike as a commuter, about 15 minutes to work. I've also taken it on a 5-hour trip to Seattle at some pretty high rates of speed, if you know what I'm saying. A lot of people want to know if a bike like this will do those highways or if they're going to feel anemic and they need like a 1200 or something. I'm going to tell you right now, this bike, I can't speak for all 650s, but this one, will take you down the highway with ease. Before we continue, I gotta ask you to do something for me. If you like this kind of content, you hit the like button right there, give me a big like, and subscribe to the channel. I super appreciate it. This bike also comes with a full passenger seat, a rack, rear pegs there for your passenger. You know, I never got to try it out with a passenger, but I'm not really a big, like, put somebody on the back and have a passenger kind of guy. You know, I always just kind of think, if you want to ride a motorcycle, why don't you just get your own? A lot of people have said this about Royal Enfield, and it absolutely rings true, is their bikes don't necessarily always look so amazing on spec sheets. Sounds kind of trite now, but it's the truth. We don't ride spec sheets, and this bike might not look the best on a spec sheet, but it's absolutely a blast to ride. So they sent me this one with a few accessories. This is kind of the sport bobber seat. It's got these crash bars on here, bar end mirrors, which in one of my videos I said came standard. They do not come standard. It's a chain driven bike, as you can see. The rider triangle on this thing is absolutely awesome. Gives you pretty much of a standard riding position, as you can see here. Your feet are here, and it's just super comfortable, super nimble. It's not gonna make you scared, and I believe it's a great bike for beginners or experienced riders alike. If you're an experienced rider, you're not gonna be bored on this machine, okay? I had a ton of fun. I got a 1200 Indian sitting at home. I have had tons of fun on this 650cc machine. And if you're a beginner motorcycle rider, you're not gonna feel intimidated by this bike. It absolutely doesn't try to get away from you. The power delivery is really, really smooth, and it's really forgiving. And I've found that across the board with all the Royal Enfields I've ridden so far. The power delivery is super forgiving. Matter of fact, like a lot of bikes will just kind of like stall out if you kind of start out in the wrong gear. This sucker just kind of wants to chug along like a train. And it's very confidence inspiring as a new motorcycle rider. Another thing I really like about this bike is I like the exhaust note. It's got just kind of a cool little just enough growl that you're like, okay, yeah, I get it. The other thing is the paint schemes for this bike. Royal Enfield has 4 different colors here in the United States. This is called the Plasma Blue. I don't know, man, grew on me. LED lights all around. This bike has also been upgraded with the clear indicators, so it just kind of looks even cooler, you know? I like this little headlight cowl that comes with the bike. Looks kind of cool. And I really like the basically pretty much analog dash. Now, you know, like your mileage, your trip indicator, a few things like that are certainly digital on there, but it's kind of like Tamagotchi style digital, you know what I mean?
Tamagotchi, the original virtual reality pen from Bandai.
It's got a fuel gauge. That's a huge bonus, right? And an indicator light to tell you when your fuel's getting low. So, have I convinced you yet that this is a cool bike and I really like it? I'm not blowing any smoke, man. I really love this machine. It's a ton of fun. I think you would love it as well. But here's the deal. You've got to get out, like I always say, and you've got to get yourself and your butt in the seat of all the bikes that you think are cool and you want to try out. There's no way to know just by what I'm telling you. Now, I'm 6'2", 240 pounds. The bike absolutely works for me. You might be shorter, you might be taller. It might not work for you. So you got to get yourself down to your local Royal Enfield dealer. If you're here in Eugene or nearby, Willamette Valley Harley-Davidson has them. If you're up in Portland, go see my friends over at Sabatino Moto. Great little shop. They will hook you up. They'll set you up. They'll get you on a test ride. You're going to enjoy this bike. So here is the question of the day. Would I buy the Shotgun 650? I think I would. It's Fastline.